So in today's video, guys, I'm going to be going over the top 5 high ground retakes for competitive play in Chapter 3 Season 1. As we all know, the season is coming to an end, and getting into the next one, you guys are going to want to know these 5 high ground retakes in order to do well in competitive game modes. Obviously, be sure to use code SonataYT in the Fortnite item shop if you guys do want to support me. Let's hop into this video. So first off, getting into the general things, I just want to say that these high ground retakes are going to be presented in easiest to hardest order. Retake 1 being the easiest and retake 5 being the hardest. I also will just say, don't be intimidated by any of these retakes if you can't learn them right away. Learning retakes and learning building and editing quicker is a bit of a skill, and it takes a while to get used to. So please don't get intimidated by it at all. Now immediately hopping into retake 1, we're going to be having something that I like to call the reverse ramp turn jump. As you guys will see, these retakes do all have pretty strange names. In terms of how to do this retake, basically what you're going to do is build up ramps until you get to a certain point where you want to switch, stop, turn to the right, place 2 walls facing upwards, and then place a ramp facing the opposite direction to the ramps that you placed before, and then try to do a little bit of an EJ dash or a jump where you can land on a side jump type ramp area as soon as you turn. It should look a little bit something like this, and then obviously do a left hand side jump right after that, making sure to double layer your ramp for extra protection. And then place a cone at the top, and then pretty much you're done with the retake. Now this retake is a little bit more complicated than you guys may think, and you guys might be surprised if it is number 1. However, trust me, this retake is very applicable in competitive situations, which is why it's actually a little bit easier. Because once you get used to it, you really get used to it. It's very good when you need to gain height and stay protected at the same time. Pretty much anybody can master it, and it's one of the most useful retakes that I use in pretty much all of my fights. I got this retake from Mr. Savage by watching him play the solo cash cups. After watching him play these solo cash cups, I've noticed that he uses these simple basic retakes in a lot of his fights. And I would recommend that you guys learn this one if you want to try to get your retake level up in competitive. Now the next one is going to be known as the double ramp high cone side jump. Basically what you're going to do for this retake is you're going to start off by doing a double ramp. However you do that is up to you. And then what you're going to do is look upwards completely straight up and then place a cone on the top side connecting to the ramp. This is going to be comparable to what Mongrel used to do back in Chapter 1 in order to trap people inside of this cone and then use the traps on them. What you guys are then going to want to do is side jump out to your right side, basically creating this small area of stairs that you guys can jump onto, which is just going to really help you stay protected and have a lot of area to work with. This is really good for misdirection. You guys can do it either on the right or the left side. In this example, I did it on the right side. But I'd recommend you guys do this if you really want to try to get your retakes down quickly. It's going to help you get really used to side jumps and placing cones really high and in weird places. And it also does have an added benefit because you can trap people in your cone, turn, jump, and then look back and edit on them when you need to. This retake is easy to learn, easy to master, but the reason that it's harder than the first one is because it's very difficult finding good situations where this one is useful. Situations like that definitely exist, but finding the correct ones are slightly difficult, especially in Chapter 3 where opponents are a bit more evolved than just running up your ramp, or even running up their ramp. Sometimes opponents are not really going to have the best positioning for this retake to be useful, but if you find where it's useful, it's going to be very helpful for all of you. Moving on to retake number 3, this is going to be known as a high wall side jump, turn, and ramp. Basically what you're going to do in this one is start off by going up on a certain amount of ramps, and then place a double edit, which is going to be a cone and a floor. Edit the first back right tile of the floor up, and then through that you can switch to your wall and place a wall. This is going to be known as a high wall, which is going to protect you when you side jump. Then you're going to want to side jump up and then basically do a 360, which is kind of a reverse 90 where you just turn around and you place a floor and a ramp. Catch yourself with the ramp and then look to your left side where you can jump out and catch yourself with another floor and a ramp. Be sure to do another high wall facing upwards. Catch yourself with the ramp and then continue building. You can edit up a wall, you can edit up a cone. Basically, I would recommend you do anything protected as you go up. But after you do those steps of doing the side jump, doing the second reverse side jump, and then doing another side jump out to your left side, this retake will pretty much be done. The turns in this retake make it really easy to recover back where you started. But this retake is slightly difficult in the first couple steps. It's useful in situations where you have to go up against a player who has a large amount of height on you, and it is also very helpful when you are fighting a duo as a solo, which is a situation that happens a lot more than you may think. That's why I'd recommend that you guys try to master this retake if you are a competitive player right now. Try to get used to this, especially if you're going to be playing duos, because when your teammate dies, this is going to be a really helpful retake for when you're fighting. Now this next retake is going to be known as the stair jump protected double ramp turn. I know that name is a mouthful, but getting into exactly how to do it, this retake is going to be one of the best. What you're going to do is do a double edit, making sure that the cone is edited fully up so that you can place a ramp to the right side top of it. After you're done with that, you're going to want to take your wall out and then basically move your cursor in a complete 360-degree motion, placing walls all around your character and placing a ramp facing to the right side. As you turn your character to the right, you're going to see a wall in front of you, and you're going to want to edit the bottom 3 tiles on the left up. Once you're done with that, place a ramp above you for extra protection and then do a side jump out to the left. You can place a cone on the top of the roof if you want to protect yourself from that angle, but you don't need to. And then be sure to catch yourself with your own ramp. Once you're done catching yourself with your own ramp, you're going to want to place another 2 right above your head and then place a wall out to your right side. Then once the wall is out to your right side, you're going to want to turn side jump to what is now your left and then continue editing up. And then you're pretty much done with the retake. That retake is a bit more complicated. We're getting into the harder retakes right here. But this retake is extremely useful because it really helps with your editing angles and it helps you get height during end games where you may need it. Let's say that you're playing solos and you need to get height really quickly off of a certain opponent. Within almost 6 seconds, you can get full height on your opponent while doing this. You can be up 5 layers in the sky. If you're playing duos and you're playing with your duo partner, if you do this while your duo partner cranks, it's going to help you gain 5 layers quicker than your duo partner ever could. And then you're able to take height off of another team very easily. And since the retake is so protected, you can't be shot down, and then you're going to be able to take height off of the other team very easily. That's what makes this retake so useful and why I would recommend that all of you guys try and master it. Now getting into the 5th and final retake, number 5, this is going to be a very big name, but it's going to be known as the high jump side box stair turn. Now getting into how to do this very complicated retake, what you guys are going to want to do is start by ramping upwards, pretty much like every other retake we've done, and then place a cone immediately, place a high wall behind you so that you don't get cracked, and then side jump out to your left side. It can be your right side, this is all applicable for the other side as well. I'm just using the left side as an example. After that, you're going to want to place a cone, a ramp, and then a wall to your right. Edit the wall top 3 tiles up in a peanut butter fashion, and then you're going to want to do a right side protected side jump, and then place another cone, floor, ramp, and wall. Do another left side protected side jump, jump out to the right side of that, and then do a turn while being fully protected. Edit that open, turn to your left, edit another wall, and then you're pretty much done with the retake. This retake is one of the most complicated. It does take a little while to learn, but if you guys study this recording very carefully, you should be able to get it down. It gets a little bit tough, I'm not gonna lie to you. But this retake is extremely useful if you need to gain a 5 to 6 layer height advantage within 5 to 10 seconds, which obviously can be very useful during endgames when you want to take height. But the big benefit of this retake is to protect yourself while you're in a large fight, or when you're being third-partied or being dragged into third-partying. That's why this retake is so powerful and why it's so useful when you guys are trying to apply it in game. I'd recommend you use this one out of pretty much every other retake in the entire video that I've gone over so far. Obviously, some of the smaller retakes will just become second nature, but if you're going for the big flashy retakes, this retake is no joke. And if you guys master all of these retakes, you're going to end up being a lot of a better mechanical player, and you're going to be able to win a lot more of your fights because you have the high ground. As we all know, height is power, and that's what you're going to be taking away from this video. Anyways, guys, that is the video on the top 5 high ground retakes in Chapter 3 Season 1. As we go into Chapter 3 Season 2, the videos are going to become a lot more high quality. Obviously, school in my life is getting a little bit more busy, but that's no big deal. I'm going to keep the content coming out for you guys. If you guys did like this video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel down below. But that's about it for this video, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.